that was the opening bars of If Then, the prologue, in a story that's talking about chance and collision and moments in your life that can affect it in small ways and big ways, but the exciting ideas that we all have, that a single collision in our life or moment can change it in a positive way. Musically, I wanted to establish when we begin this show this searching idea for someone, a hopeful idea, something that's in motion, something that feels exciting. I brought this idea to Brian. Brian and I were looking for our next project. I'd always been taken with the idea of the what ifs in our lives. And if you connect the dots from where you are, if any of those dots had been a little different, where would you have ended up? To put them on stage, to have a character in real time in a musical go through different choices, watch them play out, and you add the theatrical magic and the emotional content of a story like that, I thought it's really worth exploring as a musical.
Well, my first reaction was I didn't exactly know how it would be a musical. And then I think that as we talked about it, there were two things that sort of were tantalizing about it. And the first was the idea of how you do that on stage, how you represent different storylines playing out for the same person on stage. I think obviously it's been done in books and it's been done in films, and you know, those each have their sort of advantages in doing that. We don't have, you know, in stage we don't have quick cuts or, you know, camera editing, and we don't have so many of these things. We just have people and whatever sort of theatricality we can bring to it. So that seemed like a really great challenge to put ourselves. The other thing that finally sort of broke the story for me is this question of, you know, I said, you know, it's interesting to think about whether we're destined to meet the person that we're meant to love or not, or whether that's just pure chance and pure fate, and some people win and some people don't. I thought that was a question that was on a lot of our minds and was an interesting part of this, and the romance of that felt like a musical to me.
Certainly in the opening number, we want to be introduced to her character, and we want to understand why she's here. There's a history to her leaving where she was. She was in Phoenix, she was married, and she has left that life behind to start over in New York City. And what Brian and I have always talked about in terms of setting the story out is, here's someone who is about to make a new set of choices, is starting their life over, and they feel the importance of that. The opening number wants to rise up to meet her, wants to establish New York City, this new place she's arrived to, and the energy of New York, and how I think a lot of people come to New York for big purposes, to find romance, to find their lives, a career, whatever it is. People arrive here with dreams, and I think Elizabeth arrives here with dreams, and we wanted to underscore that with the music, make it feel hopeful, make it feel exciting, and really pull the audience into her character and what she's after. She sings, "Tell me what if I'm bound for disaster? Tell me what if I fall off the cliff? Will I ever just learn how to live and not wonder what if? What if?" And the what if motif is something that we really want to establish early on and keep in the show, because again, you can boil it down to the what ifs of your life. That's something that we're talking about.
For this woman Elizabeth, played by Idina, the show is a journey for her she starts wanting to always know what the answer is going to be. She wants to know every what if so that she can make the best possible choice she can. And over the course of the show, she learns to embrace the uncertainty of what if, and not to be afraid of it, but rather to enjoy it.
So there's a song in the show called "Hey Kid," which Brian knows I'm very passionate about. And actually the song was written in the very early stages of If Then, but not for the musical. Brian and I have a friend, Lewis Hobson, who was in Next to Normal. He played Dr. Madden. And Lewis, I believe, and his wife were about to have their third child. Is that right? Is it their third?
Second or third.
So Brian sent me this lyric and said, "I'd like to write a song for Lewis. And tell me if you think, as a father, that the lyric is on point and if it works. And I cried when I read it. I think I immediately wrote him back and said, you kind of nailed it. And as we were developing the show, I said to Brian, I said, it'd be wonderful to find a place for this song. I think it could really work for James Snyder's character, Josh. And it found its way into the show. I'm a father of 3, and I'll never forget the first time when Rita told me she was pregnant with our first child. I just kind of sat there and stared at the ceiling and just thought, what does this mean? I wanted that child so badly, but I was also so afraid. And Brian beautifully captured a song that celebrates that, the fear and eventual euphoria and joy that this life-changing moment brings to you. Hey kid, everyone's waiting on you, kid. Everyone's wondering what you'll do, kid. It's true, kid. Me too, kid. Hey kid, we're so excited just to know you'll soon be here. Say kid, we're both delighted, though that may not seem so clear. See kid, I gotta tell you, I'm not ready, not a bit. There's this macho act I'll sell you, while inside I'd lose my shit. It's not that I don't want you, cause I do despite my fears. But kid, is it true you'll stick around for 18 years? Then the call comes on the iPhone, I grab a cab cross town. I find her on the 4th floor and they've got her in the gown. She's never looked less lovely, she's a grump and she's got gas. And the labor's 18 hours, oh my god kid, move your ass. Then last you make your entrance and well kid, you're quite a sight. I'll be honest, you're disgusting, but I know that you're alright. Though you're screaming and you're sweating, and I can't quite see your charms. They clean you and they clothe you and they put you in my arms. And I realize in an instant that I've known you all along. That I've wanted you forever, that I'll never do you wrong. And whatever this world comes to, and whatever comes our way, I will watch you and protect you. I promise, kid, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. Like yelling, ring the bell and bang the drum, say kid, there's just no telling all the things that you'll become. Cause I think we'll have some fun here, your mom and you and me. And before your time is done here, kid of mine, I hope you'll see that this life is what you make it. It's cliche, which means it's true. And kid, it makes my life to know I helped make you. As a father, kid, I may not have a clue, but your mom and me will somehow muddle through. If my asshole dad can do it, I can too. In fact, I'll do better. I'll start new, cause kid, my kid, our kid, I love you.
Anthony Rapp plays Lucas, who is a college friend of Idina's character, Elizabeth. They were briefly boyfriend and girlfriend in college, but more friends. And he hasn't seen her for some years, but is really glad to welcome her back to New York City. And we learned that he's always sort of carried a flame for her all these years, which, you know, it's Idina Menzel, how could you not? And I think that, you know, the story that we wanted to tell with the character of Lucas is of someone who is very committed to his causes and very involved in the things he's passionate about, perhaps to the expense of growing up and sort of facing the challenges of living in an actual adult life. And I think that that's captured, I hope that it's captured in this song that his character sings about sort of wanting a certain kind of relationship. And it's called You Don't Need to Love Me.
You don't need to love me, or tell me that you do. Don't make me any promises, just promise we're not through. Don't give me one one damn thing. I won't let you call this greed. Just let me give to you. That's the only thing I need. I know that this can work if you plant one simple seed. You'd see it grow. You don't need to love me to know. You don't need to need me. It's better that you don't. If each of us can walk away, it won't matter that I won't. We'll both be self-contained, but together, not alone. You can keep me in the dark, and that's all I've ever known. But we both could use a friend who will always check the phone and take the call. You don't need to need me at all. Let me be your emergency contact, your occasional plus one, your excuse to take a sick day when the forecast calls for sun. We can keep on being lonely, but we don't have to be apart. And I'll never even ask you to let me have your heart. So I'll never break your heart. No, I'll never break your heart. You don't need to love me to let me help you through. You don't need to confide in me. I've got crap enough for two. You don't need to answer. I'll know before you do. But hear me and believe me that you don't need to love me the way that I love you.
So this song is called "Here I Go," and it's a song that Idina and James Snyder sing together. It was one that Tom wrote the music to first, and I loved the tune from the first time I heard it. It took me a long time to figure out what the hook was, and as you'll see, there's a very sort of clear hook to the song, which is now "Oh, Here I Go," but it took a long time to figure that out. And the way I often, when I'm writing lyrics to Tom's music, the way I often do it is I'll put it on my my iPod or my iPhone and walk around. And at the time, Tom and I were actually staying with David Stone and his fiance, Michael Selbach. I don't know if they were at the time, but they are now, on Martha's Vineyard. And I just took a walk along the sort of hiking trails and listening and trying to come up with lyrics to the song. And apparently I was gone for like 4 hours, and they were all panicked that I had been lost and I had fallen in a hole. And I walked back in, and they were like, "Where were you?" I was like, "I was just walking." But it sort of, that's how engrossed I was in the song and how long it took me to even write 3 words to it. But eventually we got all the words to it, and this is "Here I Go."
Fortunes or wishing on a star, and I've studied all the stories and what our chances are. And my heart starts beating faster, and it makes this disaster worse by far. Still, here I go. Steps to every dance, and I count cards at the table. I never bet on chance. I leave nothing to the gods. I know all the odds, and even so, still here I go. You know deep down I'm a coward, afraid to let you in. But the only thing more frightening is to say what might happen. So here I go. Oh, here I go. I love you so. So here I go. Oh, here I go.
One of the reasons I sort of marvel at where we are, I mean, we're in the Richard Rodgers Theater right now as we're talking to you, which is, it's a beautiful theater. I mean, the first day we walked in, I hadn't seen the renovation, and the first day we walked in, I just was stunned for a few minutes at how beautiful it was. And the fact that they're putting our show on here just still seems a little bit unreal. And what's particularly special about it is that we would be writing songs together if no one cared about them, if they didn't get produced, if only Tom and I heard them, Tom and I and our loved ones, which was how it started, you know, and we would still be doing that if none of this were here. So the fact that it is very, very special to us. But at core, and I've said this before, but the most exciting and thrilling thing I get to do in my entire life is write songs with Tom. To have him bring sort of my words to life in that way is, you know, it never fails to amaze me.
Exactly. He couldn't have said it more beautiful. And the only thing I would add is our collaboration was what began in a small, very sort of trashy, grubby room in what is now no longer the Student Center at Columbia. And one thing that Brian and I always love to do is sit at the piano and just play songs together, songs we've written, songs that we love. And doing this today, actually, I think is probably one of the first times that Brian and I have actually had a chance to just sit at the piano and sharing the music together. So thank you for that, because doing this was, especially in this very charged moment of the process, it was a wonderful reminder of how lucky I feel and how special our collaboration is to me.
You should play off with the exit music.
The exit music?
Yeah, I'd love that with This Day. I just love that. And you could do a little fancy piano soloing and stuff. This is the song that opens the second act. It also is the exit music, so we'll do a combination of the two.
Yeah, and I'll probably do a little bit of la la la, like when I forget the words to it, but you'll at least hear the melody line, which is good enough, right?
Yeah.
All the days he thought he lost her, all the nights and all that fear, all the chance and all he cost her, all of that is not them here, all of that is sad display, all of that except for this day.